Welcome to this video on how to extract objects from images in Photoshop. In this section, I'm going to be introducing you to two different techniques for extracting objects from backgrounds. Starting with the easier option, there are actually two options. There are actually two ways. There is the easy method and there's a more difficult method. The easy method is typically suited for images that sit on block color backgrounds like this MacBook, for example, that is sitting on a white background, and itself it's a grayish color object sitting on a white background, and want to extract this. The easy method is going to work just fine. Now, for more complicated images like this one right here, which is an image of Messi, let me quickly open this in Photoshop. Okay, like this one right here, which is an image of Messi wearing a green jersey on a green lawn. This one is going to be far more difficult to extract as opposed to this one. So without saying too much, let's go in and see to what extent these two images may be difficult or different to extract. Now, for extracting images that sit on block color backgrounds, like this one for example, you want to be making use of either of two tools. There's a quick selection tool and there's a magic wand tool. Let's see what the magic wand tool is going to give to us. Selecting the magic wand tool, click once on the background of the area of the image you want to select. By clicking on this, you can go ahead and press your delete key, escape. I'm going to unlock the layer by dragging the padlock key to the bottom right here. If I go on and click on hit my delete key once, now I have been able to automatically extract my MacBook from my background. Notice how we no longer have a white background anymore. This is a very easy procedure. Command Z. I'm gonna undo this now. Command Z, Control Z, Control Z. I'm gonna undo this and show you how to make use of the quick selection tool to achieve the same effect. Now, either of the quick selection tool or the magic wand tool is going to give you the exact same effect. I'm clicking and dragging on the background to select the background area, and go on and click on delete. Unlock the layer first if you have a padlock there, and hit your delete key to delete the background. Now, I've successfully extracted my background, my MacBook from my white background. I can now go ahead and make use of this image in whatever design I want to make use of it for. Now, for a more difficult approach, which is for extracting images like what we have right here, an image of Messi wearing a green jersey on a green lawn, is going to be a whole lot more difficult. And our easy methods, which is our quick selection tool, may not exactly work just right. Notice how it's cutting off his ears and cutting off some part of his hair. Same thing if we make use of our magic wand tool, we just won't get the exact selection that we're interested in. So for images like this, you want to make use of your polygonal lasso tool. Now, this is my go-to tool when it comes to image extraction. I tend to make use of it a whole lot when extracting objects like human beings from their natural taking on their natural environment, and not in a studio using the block background color. So to make use of the polygonal lasso tool, select the polygonal lasso tool from right here, zoom. Make sure you zoom very well into your image so you can get to the key details of the image, and then click once and gently, consistently click on the edges of the image, or the part of the image you are interested in. In this case, we're interested in selecting an image of Messi out of the background to place him on a different background. So I'm going to very quickly click on this, very slowly and very gently. And like I said, make sure you have zoomed in into your image very closely. Now, a quick shortcut key for zooming into your image is to use your Ctrl plus key. Ctrl plus key to zoom and Ctrl minus key to zoom out. So I'm zooming in to my image to get to the exact point where I'm interested in. After I've zoomed in, I'm going to very carefully select the edges of the image I'm interested in. Now, this could take you quite a bit of a while, so you need to be very patient when doing this, because patience could just be the difference between having a professional graphic work and what looks like something that came out of a kid's drawing book. So take your time and select around the edges of the image. Now typically when I'm extracting an image from a background, it could take me upward of 10 to 15 minutes depending on how complicated the image I'm trying to extract is. So same thing for you. Now you are new to this, probably you need to take your time, spend at least no less than 15 minutes extracting this image, and make sure you get all the edges just right. Don't try not to cut into the lawn and try not to cut into his air. Now I'm taking my time to do this. Okay, notice I'm clicking once. If for any reason you mistakenly double click your mouse, Photoshop may automatically select the whole image for you. In that case, you will need to start all over again. So make sure you're clicking just once, click once, move to the next place, click once, move to the next place, click once, move to the next place, click once. It gets a bit monotonous after a while, but don't lose faith and patience. Just keep selecting until you have the whole image selected. Good. Now after selecting down to the edge of the image, you can just move your mouse. Please note that I'm not actually dragging my mouse. I'm not clicking and dragging. I'm just moving my mouse on all the way down here on to where I started from until I see the round button. Now I believe you should have seen, or if you haven't, there's also a video on image selection that I actually explained the intricacies of using the selection tools in Photoshop. That's if you really want to learn more about selection tools, which I really advise you to do. I advise you to do after you're done watching this, depending on in which order you're watching the videos. So after doing this, Photoshop is automatically going to select the whole image for us that we're interested in. We can now zoom downwards and press Ctrl X to cut the image from the background and Ctrl V to paste him on a new layer. You can notice that he's now on his own layer and our background is now on his own. Now we can very quickly apply a different color to our background. Let me draw a rectangle behind him of white, and that's it. We've been able to extract Messi from his natural habitat, which is on a football field, into a white background. Now that's all for image extraction. You want to make sure you're making use of the right technique for extraction for the right kind of image you're working on. If you're working on an image that has a block background, make sure you're making use of your quick tool. And if you're working on an image that has other details in its background that may interrupt your selection, make sure you're making use of your polygonal lasso tool. And that's all for this video. See you in the next video.